So, a couple days ago, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably know this. But I posted a story about this book I was currently reading, and it was like this advanced reading copy that I got from NetGalley. It was queer, it was sapphic, and it was about sports, and it was like a rom-com and like all things that I love. And so I was really sure I was going to love it. And I read about 20%, 21% of the book before I DNF'd it, did not finish it. The reason for that, like I asked before, like on my story, was that there was this part where a very, very minor character in the book who was brown was written or like assumed to be East Indian. And that term kind of really bothered me and really irked me. And I wasn't sure if I was right to be bothered and irked by it. And so even after I posted the story, I kept reading the book, hoping that, since it's an advanced copy, I was hoping that they probably don't have it in the final copy. They probably did some sensitivity reading or something. But I tried from my two different libraries, and the hold for the book is like 4 weeks away. So I was like, okay. I did go to a bookstore physically as well to see if they have the book because it's already out. I think it came out in like May or June. And so I tried to find it. I did multiple things to try and find it to see if it is in the final copy as well, but I don't know. But it was in my copy. And so even after I kept reading it, it was like I kept thinking about that and I kept not being able to move past that. And so I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to DNF it because it is a book that I'm enjoying. Everything besides that thing I was enjoying up until that point. But then one of my friends on Instagram was like, life is too short to read books you don't like. And I need to remind myself of that because I keep forcing myself to finish books I'm not enjoying just because I don't want to DNF it, just because I don't want to, I know how much work authors put into their work and like how much it takes to get a book to be published. And so, yeah, just like I kept thinking about those things and forced myself to read books that was not enjoying. And so I'm going to try and work on that and I'm going to try and stop that. And so obviously it's going to take a while for me to get to that point. But I did DNF the book after my friend said that, and I was like, "You're so right." And so I stopped reading that, and then I ended up reading a very, very fun, desi, bisexual rom-com. Both MCs in it were bisexual. There was so many queer characters. There was so much fun stuff. It was YA, it was road trip. It's not coming out until January, but keep it in your TBRs. It's called Better Catch Up Krishna Kumar by Anahita Karthik, I think is her name. Let me just make sure. I keep calling people by their like username on Instagram instead of knowing what their actual name is. So I knew Anna Scribe, but I didn't remember. Yeah, Anahita Karthik. So, anyways, keep it in your TBRs. Be ready to get it in January or pre-order it now. Like it's so good. Like desi rom-com to the max. Like just fantastic. And I read it in one day, even though I was so busy doing other things. And it was just a fun ride. I will talk about it more in my September TBR. But yeah, so good. And now I'm reading I Could Give You the Moon by Anne Liang. And I love Anne Liang's books, especially YA contemporary rom-coms. So this one is going to be great as well. I'm 20% in to this. I started it yesterday and I'm loving it as well. But the point of this video is my September TBR. So if you watched my previous video, then you know that I just moved to Boston recently. And so first thing, literally, I think the second day I got here, I went to the bookstore. No, I went to the library and got myself a library card. And So obviously, I ended up putting a lot of books on hold, and now they've all come at the same time. So let's go to the Boston Library and see what books I will read in September, and hopefully finish all of them. But let me count and tell you how many there are, and then we'll go. And then afterwards, I'll show you which books I I picked. So yeah, there's six books that are ready. Some of them have been influenced by other authors. I did an interview recently with Ashna Avachat, who is the author of Love Craves Cardamom, which was my book club's August book. And she recommended some really good mysteries to me. So some of them have arrived at my library. So I'm going to go pick those up. And there are some other books. So let's go. Taking the tea. Copley is the stop that drops you right in front of the library. I've taken this route so many times at this point. It's ingrained in me, even though I've been here less than 2 weeks. Here we are. The building. This is the main entrance. There's also a side entrance, but I wanted to show you guys this beautiful entry. So here we are. The courtyard. It's so nice, but every time I've gone, there's been no seat that's been empty. So yeah, you gotta wait if you want to sit outside. But the weather's nice right now, so that's why it's so full. First floor. Bates Hall. This is like so pretty. Just look inside. The green lamps and like, yeah, it's giving very movie vibes and reminded me of my favorite library in my undergrad. So yeah. Beautiful artwork. It's just so pretty. Almost everyone around this place, like downstairs especially, was like taking photos and recording, which was interesting. I was doing the same, so. Okay, now we're heading to the courtyard and then through that to where like the book holes are, and then also where like they keep like the fiction and like the teen section and the children's section. So yeah, this is the close-up of the courtyard. All the seats are taken, as you can see. Yeah, there's like a long wait. People usually also sit by the pillars and stuff and read. At some point maybe I'll do that. I've only gone every time I've gone, it's been for studying and not for reading. So next time I go for reading, I'm gonna do that. Okay, here's the newer section. So many books on my TBR. So many new books that I learned of. On my TBR. This came out recently. This is also on my TBR. And another Ali Hazelwood on my TBR. Here's the books on hold. Yep. So there's the mezzanine floor, which has like, I think I saw like a romance section and the mystery section over there. And then the second floor has a children's library and also the teen young adult section. Here we are, Teen Central. So many good YA books over here. Only people under 18, like teens, are allowed to sit inside, I think. Yeah, ages 12 to 17 are allowed to sit inside, but anyone's allowed to browse through the books. So that's what I did, as you can see. Finding more books that have been on my TBR for a while. Stopped by Trader Joe's, and so took the train at Arlington back home. Let me show you guys what books I got. Hello, I'm back from the library, and let me show you which books I got. So I was looking at the borrowed section, like there's like a section, as you guys probably saw, where the books that are ready to be checked out are kept, and I could not find my name. And so I went to the counter and asked the librarian, and she said there were too many books that I was taking, which is why I was in there, and that was at the back. And so she got it out for me, and yeah. Anyways, I got 6 books with me, and I got one more book a couple days ago. Couple days, more than a week ago. And so let me show you that first, and then I will get to the ones that I got today. Okay. If you guys have been watching for a while, then you know this, but I host a book club called Kitaab Club where we read South Asian books every month. And so this month's book is Sisters of the Snake by Serena and Sasha Nanua. And so I got this at the library. And so I'm like 30% ish, 150 pages ish through it, and loving it so far. But yeah, this is the first book that I got, and it was a couple days ago. But today I got the second book in the series because I plan to finish both this month if possible. Because I'm going through that so quickly, because like I started it like 2-3 days ago and I'm already like 150 pages in. I feel like I can finish that within this week. It's Tuesday today, so I feel like I can finish that during this week and then start this immediately. So yeah, because I will be doing an interview slash like informal conversation with the authors at the end of this month, and so I want to have read both so that I can properly talk about the series with them. So yeah, and then other books. So I recently read Nobody in Particular by Sophie Gonzalez, and that book was so good, so sapphic, so boarding school and like royals and like just yeah, the princess and like a nobody in particular, and you know, all of these things, and just so good. And so I got another book by her. It's called Never Ever Getting Back Together. I don't know much about it. I do remember seeing the synopsis of this when it was gonna come out. I think it's been out for like a couple years now. But at that time, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this. But I feel like with the way the writing for Nobody in Particular and her other books that I've read, I feel like I will enjoy the writing. And maybe the synopsis is not like. There have been times where the synopsis has been not that great or like not something or made me feel that I'm not gonna enjoy it. And then I read it and I'm like, that's not what it was about. The synopsis was wrong. I don't know if that's the case with this, but I feel like even if it is like the synopsis is right, I feel like I will probably enjoy this because of the writing and because queer stories. So and then I got another sapphic book, Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. This author's books I've read, I'm forgetting Mendel Hawks or like whichever the hockey, duology there is. I know that it's not a duology. There are more books that are gonna come out. But yeah, when I saw that they were writing a sapphic romance, I knew I needed to read it, and I've been waiting to read this for a long time. So when I saw that it was available at my library, I was like, yeah, yeah. So yes, that is next. Um, then I got two books that was recommended to me by Ashna, like I mentioned. Both are YA mystery-ish books. Mystery, yeah, I think historical mystery. They were the same author. So I got The Red Palace. This has been on my radar for a long time, but I didn't know much about it, and I didn't know that this was like mystery. So yeah, and I've just generally been very interested in this book. So yeah, Joseon, if you enter the palace, you either die or you survive and become another monster within its walls. Interesting stuff. So yeah, this author has been on my radar for a really long time, and I've been wanting to read their books for the longest time. So very excited. And then the next book, also by this author, is The Forest of Stolen Girls. Again, I think, yeah, Joseon, historical mystery. Yeah, the forest watches me, hostile and still, with remembering eyes. Interesting stuff. So, yeah, these are. Oh, wait, last book. So, I started reading this non-fiction self-help book before I left Dubai, but then I didn't bring it with me and wanted to continue reading it. And so I got The Let Them Theory. I've been really in a podcast binge lately. And so I've been watching or like listening to Mel Robbins' podcast and like Jay Shetty's podcast and like all these different things. And so, yeah, I want to read The Let Them Theory, finish it, and like, you know, yeah. So, anyways, this this is the list of or like my TBR for September. I did, like I said in my previous video, I did bring a few books from home with me. Two of them I know for sure I want to read in October because they're like more spooky, more like Halloween vibes. And then the others I might try to read it this month, I might not. These have a time limit, so I'm gonna focus on these. And also the NetGalley arcs that I have. I could give you the moon I'm currently reading, so after that I'm gonna pick one of these up. That is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Bye.